describe what you're doing better than me. So I'll hand it over to you. Thank you very much.
Right on. Well, thank you so much for having me. This is really exciting to be here. Synchro is a brand new program. We're based out of Mbari, and it was kind of created because we saw this need that we need a more streamlined way to bring emerging and new technology into the hands of users through, because we recognize that validation and prototyping is just a really long process. And we wanted to try to kind of help that along through this program that we've created. And so I want to introduce you to what our concepts are and how we're kind of going about that. To kind of give you a sense of our structure, our offices are in Bari. We're called Synchro. Our offices are in Bari. We are funded by Oceankind and Gordon Betty Moore and Schmidt Marine. And right now our partners are all of these institutions out here. I'm not going to name them all, but we have really broad reach. We have a huge network of people. We're well connected. We're a registered entity of the UN Decade of Ocean Science program. We've got our board of directors is on Schmidt Marine. Schmidt Marine and Marine Technology Society, and then we're really well plugged into the global ocean observing system through some smaller regional organizations. Now, I want to talk about this concept of co-design. That does not mean that we are helping you design and develop hardware. Co-design is this kind of new word that I'm even kind of still learned recently, but it's basically we got a bunch of people together across different entities, industry, NGOs, government, a bunch of people all within the marine science realm to talk about what's important for getting technology from the development phase to adoption by users. And through that, we came up with these 3 pillars. We're doing a technology testing evaluation. We're looking for product market fit for new low-cost technology. And we're trying to figure out how to better manage ocean spaces. And there's a lot of talk about marine protected areas and national marine sanctuaries and offshore wind. And so I'm going to go into a little bit of each of these to talk about these pillars individually. The first one is we have a large network of infrastructure around Monterey Bay and up in British Columbia, where I know all of these entities. I know all of their technicians and their boat operators. And so what we're offering at no cost to the developer is the ability to hit me up. And if you have a technology that you're working on, call me up, we'll get you into the program and I can get you on the John Martin, within a couple of weeks, and we can get your system deployed. Or we can set you up on the wharf station at Santa Cruz and get your system in the water, or any number of these. And really it's just to do like a short-term, couple of months deployment. We collect some data. We try to do some cross-validation. We see how your system performs according to your specifications. We collect all this data and then we'll produce like a little report. If everything goes really well, we'll produce a little report and we'll host it on our website so that all of our user network can see like this was tested out, everything looking great. And that's a great way to like give you guys feedback too. I know development is hard. So to apply, there's our website here. If you're interested in that, I strongly recommend it because it comes right to me and I get to play with all this new cool technology, which is my favorite part. And part of that is I get to build my own mooring to go in the middle of Monterey Bay. And the primary design feature was they said, we want to be able to plug whatever we can into it. And I'm like, all right. So I'm trying to make it as flexible as possible and in adding as many different communication protocols in there, including Bristlemouth, because we met at Schmidt Marine like a few months ago and I was like, holy crap, yeah, we got to work together on this. And so we're working on that. That's meant to be plug and play. I want to be able to take a small boat out there, hoist the buoy up onto the boat, plug some systems in, put it back in the water, come back a couple months later and grab it. And I have some integrated sensors on there so we can kind of collect some side-by-side data. It's going to be cellular telemetered and I want it to be remote accessibility. So having like a Linux development platform on the station so I can remote into it and do any like tweaking and to keep it running and power savings and everything. So super excited about that. That is hopefully going to be going in the water by this spring if everything goes well. The second pillar is this low cost procurement. We had a big meeting with a bunch of developers and a bunch of people. We talked about like, what does it even mean to be low cost? And so really the definition after talking to a bunch of people was that it just needs to be inexpensive. So like an order of magnitude lower in cost than like the currently accepted or reference technology, and then easy to use. That there's a big drive to not have to have like a whole technician to deploy your equipment. I'm thinking about these biologists or phycologists that are like NGOs that have like small funds, and so they need to be able to use these tools and then be able to put them out themselves, recover the data, and be able to keep going on with what they're doing without having to hire a very expensive technical staff. And so we're getting ready to release a request for information. This is going to come out probably in about a month. And we want to see the entire landscape of low-cost technology in ocean observing, with the goal of next year to procure a bunch of technology from the developers and give it out to our users for a testing and evaluation and using in their operational settings. And these are kind of just some examples of what we're looking for. Really ecosystem level monitoring systems. So eDNA and collecting water samples is really, really cool topic right now. Acoustics, being able to listen to animal sounds, being able to pick up on tags. Imagery, I'm seeing a lot more microscopic imaging systems, which are really freaking cool. Hyperspectral, also really fascinating to see that coming on. We're looking at platforms and definitely in the biogeochemistry. Those are all still very expensive sensors, nutrient sensors, carbon chemistry. pH has been like a really tricky one for the last couple of years because of all of that going on. And so we're looking for new pH sensors. Onboard data processing. So like acoustic is a super data dense measurement system. And so to be able to, you can't really send that over a cellular iridium that well. And so having onboard AI processing, so it can listen to a whole soundscape and then just tell you, oh, that was a blue whale, and then it goes over, and that's way easier to deal with. And then of course, connectors and modularity. We all see, I've been dealing with all kinds of connectors and they are a hassle. And so to have a really awesome system, plug and play connecting, is very exciting to have. So the third pillar is offshore wind. We all know offshore wind energy is coming to California. Probably in about a decade, we'll start seeing these showing up off of Eureka and Morro Bay. And so we're starting to evaluate technology on how to do a pilot study to monitor for the impacts of those wind farms. And so we're looking for ecosystem monitoring. We're trying to figure out animal migrations. There's even some papers written to say that the wind stress can be reduced from the turbines to impact upwelling. And so we're trying to figure out how to measure upwelling. And so we're just going to be going out. This is going to be probably a 2-year project. We're looking for all the coolest technology to be able to make that happen. And so so that's that third pillar. And so just to summarize, I'm out there, I'm meeting with all the developers I can, I'm meeting with all of the users that I can, and I want to just find synergy between everybody. So we're trying to grow our network. Like I said, we've only been around for about 6 months. So please follow us on LinkedIn, join the Synchro network, go to our website, email me, say what's up, and let's work together on something. And that's it.